All right, how much am I going to need to bring to closing?
I don't know. You mean I need more than just my down payment?
We're going to make closing costs simplified right now. Hello, everybody. My name is Barry Horvath, and this is Moving Forward TV with your local market update.
And I am DeLynn Gaston. Thank you for joining us.
What's so funny now?
So right before they said 3, 2, 1, go, we're all singing, let's go.
Let's all go to the lobby.
So now
Go to the lobby.
Get ourselves a treat.
to get ourselves a treat. So now
delicious.
you all will have
Look at
that
this
song
popcorn.
in your mind as well,
Sparkling drinks are just
because we're pretty much done for the night.
candy, so let's all
Glad you tuned in today, aren't you?
get ourselves a treat.
All right,
All right.
moving on.
Go to the
So besides going to the lobby to get a treat,
get ourselves a treat.
I just need to just work with us. We need to let him get this out.
You know what? You know what makes it? It's the piano part. It's the doo, 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 doo. Listen, you can
You're just
all
saying that
hate it.
because you take piano lessons
You're
now,
right,
so
you're
you're
right.
starting to realize that and recognize it.
You can all make fun of it, but you're all going to go home singing it tonight, and you're going to hate me later.
I know, they are.
All right, so are we talking about closing costs in the lobby?
So back to what we were going to talk about
Sorry.
on today's show. So anyway, thank you all for joining us. I'm DeLynn Gaston. Today's
Oh, did
show.
you even introduce
I
yourself
don't
yet?
know. I think you started playing.
Oh, I got my name in.
I know. Yes, you did. It's all about you.
Sorry.
The Barry Show.
No, this is not. It's not.
Anyway, so
Anyway.
thank you all for joining us today. So one of the probably biggest questions we get, you know what, the thing is, when we're doing mortgages, which everybody out there knows, we do mortgages, the most important thing that people care, they don't, all the paperwork and everything, yes, it drives everybody crazy, the pay stubs, the bank statements, the tax returns, all that stuff. But what's my payment? And how much do I got to bring to closing?
Yeah, that's-
those are the only two things
That's
anybody
really
cares
that-
about.
At the end of the day, how
End
we
of
get
the day.
there, some people want all the details, some people want all the breakdown, some people want to know line by line.
95% don't care.
No, you're right. They don't
It's
care.
just, what's my payment going to
Yep.
be, and how much money do I need to bring to closing?
And you know what's so funny is that I talked to a borrower recently, and
Mm-hmm.
they're like, well, you charged me all these fees
Right.
to
right.
get me to my closing. And I'm like, wait a minute. And most people have this misconception that the lenders
Huge.
charge all of these fees.
Right.
And the lenders aren't the one really charging all these fees.
And you notice the title companies don't correct them?
Yeah, I know.
when
Where
they're
they
sitting
charge
there,
more of it.
when they're sitting there, yeah.
The lender portion of closing costs is such a minuscule
amount compared to
amount,
everything else.
Everything else. And it all adds up. And I know we're going to go through some detail on it all and how it gets there and
Mm-hmm.
how does it all add up and what's what. And, most people, but I think you're right. Most people don't care.
They don't
just
care.
want to know, what do I got to bring to closing?
That's it. They don't care. So what the purpose of our show today?
There's a purpose?
Yes, for a change, we
We're
have
not-
a purpose
We're not going to the lobby
to have
get-
ourselves a treat.
to have your I love that.
So a lot of real estate partners out there, most of our viewing audience, of course, is the real estate
And our
partners.
buyers.
And they then share it
And
with
our
the
friends-
buyers, which are
and
good.
our friends who really love us.
Exactly, and a lot of our friends who really love us. But I know that sometimes it's hard to explain closing costs, and one of the biggest mistakes that a lot of the real estate professionals make is to say 6%. Take those words out of your vocabulary. It is not, closing costs are not 6%. It's not 6%. It's just period, not 6%. That's just
It could be 6%.
Completely
It could be
incorrect
6%.
to say that, because 6% of a $100,000 house is $6,000. 6% of a $200,000 house is $12,000. Have you ever seen closing costs $12,000?
Well, yes.
Most of the time,
Right.
in probably 90% of our transactions that we do here locally, they're not $12,000 in closing costs. They're just not.
Right.
So,
Did you do that math all on your own, that 6 and 12?
yeah, did you like that?
Yeah, you didn't have a cheat sheet for that. I noticed
I know. How about me?
Yeah, but-
Normally, he's laughing at me, making fun of me, because normally I can't do anything without my HP
I know. I
12C
was
calculator.
impressed. I was impressed that you just like
I just
pulled
had
that
to
out.
double that.
You pulled it
Normally, I
out.
have my HP 12C very handy, and I
I
can figure
know.
anything out as long as I have that in front of me. But anyway, okay, so what we're going to try and do is make it a little bit clearer for you real estate professionals so that you can explain it to the buyers or pass this along to your buyers, please, so that they understand
All right. When you
how
say
the
we,
closing
you mean
costs
you, right? I'm just kidding.
how the closing costs are arrived, what they are, and it'll help you understand a lot better so that you can explain it to
Because
your
it's
buyers
really not.
or your sellers.
People come in and they're like, how much do I need for down payment?
Right.
And down payment is only part of what you need to bring to closing. Whether you're putting 3% down, 3.5% down, 5% down, 10% down,
Right.
20% down, 25% down, whatever the amount is, closing costs are still there.
And surprisingly, a lot of people don't realize that. I am blown away with how many people don't realize that in addition to their down payment, they still have to pay closing costs as well. And they have no idea, because there's a lot of lenders out there, and some of these like bankrate.com that you see in the newspaper online or whatever, they'll just say lender fee $9.95. So people are thinking that's the only closing cost. I just had somebody the other day who said that, oh, okay, so besides the doc stamps, the only other cost is $9.95, right? And I said, no, this was a builder contract that they were
Right,
looking at. And I
right.
said, no, there's a title company, and the title fees and everything that goes in there as well. So some of the lenders are very misleading with how
No.
they're telling these people. You know, the other thing too, VA. VA, this is another one that kind of like gets me sometimes. I love VA loans. Don't get me wrong. They're the best loan out there. But sometimes I don't know how when they're discharging the veterans, what they tell them about one of our veterans. He's a very funny guy, and he said, yeah, you know what, I was coming home from Kuwait. I don't think I watched the video. I guess they give him this little video thing or whatever. He said, I was just too tired. But apparently, a lot of veterans think, oh, I don't have to pay any closing costs.
Because I'm a veteran.
I don't need any money at all.
VA says, no, I don't.
VA says I don't have to pay anything
Because it's 100%
I'm a veteran.
financing.
So so they don't understand. So we want to try and clear that up for you guys today so that, you know, you're better prepared and the buyers and the sellers are all better prepared for what consists of closing costs. You ready?
Sure.
Should we
let's go.
dive in?
Yeah, let's dive in. I mean, I think before we really dive into the breakdown on it,
Yeah.
before we really get to the meat and potatoes, before we get to the nuts and bolts,
Yeah.
I think we should
Let's go to the lobby.
Let's all go to the lobby.
Have ourselves a treat.
We're going to go to the lobby, and then we'll be back right after this, and we're going to give you some meat and potatoes to chew on. We'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Joe Stalteri. I'm one of the owners of Complete Care Systems. At Complete Care Systems, we do carpet cleaning, upholstery cleaning, tile and grout sealing, wood floor and laminate floor deep cleaning, as well as stripping and waxing of linoleum and vinyl floors, and a whole lot more. We also run daily deals and special, which you can find at CompleteCareSystems.com, or simply call Tricia up at 727-364-5158, and she'll answer all your questions and give you over the phone free estimates. Or she'll send me out to your home or office to give you an on-site free estimate. At Complete Care Systems, we don't cut corners, we clean them.
All right, we're back, and we just got back from the lobby. Did we?
Yeah, we did.
Where's our treats?
Yeah, I got coffee. He
Well,
got
yeah,
water.
I've had the water.
They were out of treats, so that was disappointing.
I hate when that happens. right, so I think we should do a
I
breakdown.
probably have a fireball in my purse or something. Can
I have it, please?
Yeah, can I have
Can I
it?
have it? Can I have it? You know what? I think people, though, they want to know, how much do I need to bring to closing?
Yeah,
So,
that's the bottom line. What do I need to bring to closing?
you know, let's talk about the different components of what they need to bring to closing. Let's make it simple, DeLynn.
Simplified. Closings simplified. Okay, so there's three, and I tell everybody this, there's three parts to what do I need to bring to
You
closing.
guys need to sit down for this because it's going to take a few minutes.
He's heard me a million times explain this on the phone. Part one is the down payment. So that's going, depending upon what program they're with.
100%.
It's, 100% financing, 5%
95,
down, 10%
97.
down, whatever they're going to be putting down. So whatever the down payment is, that's the first
so
thing.
if it's a $200,000 house and they're putting 5% down, how much do they need to bring?
I don't know. Stop. Part two is the actual closing costs themselves. I call those the hard costs. There are a lot of people involved. I tell people all the time, there's a lot of people from the time you sign a contract
Of course you do.
until the time you're sitting at a closing table and people are handing you keys. You have underwriters, processors, appraisers, surveyors, settlement agent fee. There's doc stamps. There's intangible tax. There's all kinds of things that nothing outrageous.
Because I want to be part of the show. Can I just read the list?
Sure.
And maybe we can give an example of what they typically might cost.
The list.
Yeah, I got the list. We got an appraisal fee. I mean, a typical appraisal fee today.
Apparently, I have the show right now.
All right. I'm over here.
There we go. There we go. Okay. Barry has decided to join us.
I know. All right. So first is, your lender costs, again, we talked about earlier, usually a minuscule part of, they might have an underwriting fee. If you're buying down a rate, you will have possibly
Points.
Discount points on there.
Which is optional.
And people see this low rate and they get like, I can get a 3 some odd percent rate. We haven't seen 3 some odd anywhere unless you buy it in the form of a discount point. Again, that'll be additional closing costs that you'll need to pay. Appraisal fee, typical appraisal fee, what, $450?
$450-ish,
Yeah,
right.
$450. That goes to a third party. Again, outside of that, what else do we have? We have an underwriting fee. Underwriting fee
is part of it. By the way, origination, you'll see it on the CD that all of you look at. Right, the closing disclosure.
Not the Michael Jackson Thriller.
Origination fee usually includes, that is the total lender fee, which is your underwriting and your processing.
Correct.
In most cases. Some other lenders charge like all these miscellaneous little things like tax service and flood certs and stuff like that. Those are all up there under underwriting.
Yes, all built in. Processing fee. Some lenders use a third-party processing company, or just may charge a fee for their team to actually process their loan. Could be, I've seen $300, I've seen $1,000.
I know.
So they can vary on it. Credit report. So, what's up with credit reports? Remember in the old days you could charge whatever for a credit report, and lenders actually made money on the credit report when they paid their credit bill.
Some of those not so scrupulous lenders did that, right?
But now in today's world, on a credit report fee, you cannot charge any more than the actual credit report costs.
However, when we are upfront or first disclosing the loan, we don't know how much the credit report is going to be because it varies whether it's one borrower or two borrowers, married or unmarried, and how many supplements we might have to get. So we never know. So most lenders will automatically just put an estimate. If you've paid off a credit card or something like that, a supplement is we have to show that it's now been paid off. So we contact the credit bureau and they charge us update another fee to update the balance on that credit report.
What about, what's this refresh thing they do?
Credit refresh. That's why I always tell people,
cost.
and you guys, you real estate partners are very good about telling people, don't buy a car, don't buy anything before closing, because we do what's called a credit refresh. All lenders do. Right before closing, they are going to do what's called a soft pull on your credit. It does not hit as a ding, to make sure you didn't open up any new credit cards, make sure you didn't go buy a car or an ATV or anything like that.
And that's all part of that credit report
all
fee.
Part of the credit report fee.
So people say, why is it $50? Because it wasn't, I can get a credit report for free. Right. But all those other little things that are required. Okay, what about a settlement fee? What's that? Is that the closing fee?
Title company.
Title company, or if it's an attorney? Could be a
Right.
settlement fee
Right.
in there as well. Could be an attorney fee as
It's
well.
whoever actually does the closing saying, sign here, sign here, sign here, sign here.
And what about if
That's
there's
your
a,
settlement
what if there's
agent.
a notary and a mobile closer?
Sometimes they charge those too, as you know. So if the closing is taking place maybe somewhere, closer to the house or somewhere closer to your job or something like that, they send somebody out. They usually charge like $150 or something like that for that person to go out and do that.
Okay, and that's all part of that
All part
settlement
of-
or closing fee that you're going to see on there. What about title search? What the heck?
Title searches and title exam.
Yes.
Some title companies charge. These are all the title charges. Some title companies will charge that, and some title companies just lump it all in. Some of them have the seller pay it. They have the seller pay the title search, but
Right.
the buyer pay the title exam. I've
Right.
seen that.
I don't think they're even allowed to charge.
I
an
don't think
exam
they
fee
are
anymore, but
either.
I know I've seen
I've
it
seen
out there,
them. I've
but
seen
they're
them.
not supposed to. What about title insurance? Why do I need title insurance?
Okay, so title
What-
insurance,
And
I
that's-
love this explanation. So
Okay.
title insurance actually, you own a title insurance company. Do you want to take this one?
I could. I could. So here's the thing about title insurance. People say, oh, the fees can vary with different title companies.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, though, title insurance cannot vary. It is promulgated rates set by the state. So
Right.
typical, $100,000 deal off the top of my head, $525. That's rough title premium. But it's all the other costs that we just spoke about that can vary from title company to title company. And the bigger the loan size, the larger the premium. And what does title insurance do? It basically insures the lender and the buyer, the new buyer, that the title is free and clear of any defects, meaning you don't want to find out after you bought this house and closed on it, and we as a lender don't want to find out that somebody else had rights to it,
Right.
or a lien, or an outstanding
Right.
permit,
For new windows
Or
that were put on
something
in
that
like
was-
1975.
right, or an old second lien that was
Right.
never satisfied.
We've had that happen,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, because when you buy that house, you get everything else that's encumbered with it. All
Right.
its
You're buying
past.
everything.
Yeah, you're not buying a brand new house. Even if you buy a brand new house, all this
The
all these
land.
applies. Yeah, the land could have attachments.
Right.
I mean, you never
because
know.
the title insurance, so that you know, is tied to the land. Everything that happened on that piece of land. Every person who has ever owned it, and even when it was part of a big farmland or down here, orange orchard,
Right.
where they subdivided them all up, it was still part of it. Everything that's happened with that piece of land, that's what the title insurance is insuring
and
for
then,
you.
And then there's also title endorsements, which vary by the type of loan you have.
Right.
If you have an ARM loan, if you have those endorsements.
If you have a manufactured home, if you have a condo, no matter, depending upon what type of loan it is, there's different endorsements that have to, additional supplements, so to speak, to
Right.
the title policy.
Okay, so next we're going to talk about the state fees, taxes, and government fun stuff. So we'll be back right after this. Okay, so far it
So
hasn't.
off air, this show has been funny.
Yeah, it is. Off air, we're really funny.
So what I said to him, he said, we're going to talk about fun stuff, government. I said, every time we're going to talk about the government, do we have to call it fun? So they come back, really, I promise it's going to be fun.
We're never going to talk about anything controversial like a wall.
I said, don't go there.
All right.
I'm telling you.
All right,
in our ear. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Never
We won't
mind.
tell you what their opinion is. Doesn't matter.
Yes.
So it's controversial.
I'm telling you,
Anyway,
off air, the
either you
show
love
is
it or
really
hate
funny.
It is. We're the funniest people in the
So the
studio.
government stuff. Okay,
The fun
so we have
stuff.
doc
Let's talk
stamps.
about we're back at closing costs, closing simplified. So give us a breakdown on
Have we
what those are.
simplified it? I don't know.
No, I think it's
all right.
pretty
So
complicated.
so your doc stamps and tangible tax. You guys all know what those are. I don't have to tell you. Those are the government fees to the state of Florida. Hello, gimme, gimme, gimme.
Yeah.
We do not have a state income tax. Thank you, but we do have
have a
these other
gimme, gimme
taxes. We have a gimme, gimme fee.
Which will be charged on your settlement statement.
That's right. So we've done loans, both Barry and I, around the country, and other states do not charge
The gimme fee.
the gimme fees, but they have state income tax and such. So
Yeah, they get it
it's not
somewhere.
that bad, but it is based on the loan size. The seller's doc stamps is based on the purchase price. The buyer's doc stamps and intangible tax are based on the loan size. So if they're buying a $300,000 house but putting $250,000 down, and only getting a $50,000 loan, their doc stamps and intangible tax are going to be very small, versus if they're buying a $300,000 house putting 5% down, then they've got a huge amount that they're going to have to be paying there. So
Those are
to
government
sum up,
fees.
So to sum up, and in addition to that, there's recording the documents,
Sure,
the
and that's
Pasco County
paid-
Clerk's Office.
Or Pinellas, or Hillsborough.
Right, whatever.
Or Hernando.
Right.
And it's based on the number of pages. And
Right.
it's really...
And it's usually like $20 for the first page and $10 for every page thereafter, something along $7, whatever it is.
No, you're wrong, but
Okay,
good enough.
I'm wrong. That's the way it used to be. I don't do recordings. I don't know.
All of it's less than $20. There you go. How's that? Unless you got like 30
The recording fees on most closing statements are somewhere between $130 to $200.
All right, so let's move forward.
So he's wrong.
I think it's $10.95.
I go to more closings
for
than he
your
does.
First page, and then,
And it depends on which county it is, because
Yeah.
every county's a little bit
and then I
different.
forgot how much it is every page after.
None of them are less than $100, though.
Yeah, okay.
They're all over
Anyway,
$100.
back to
I go to
closing
more
costs
closings than
simplified.
he does. All right.
We'll get
So
clarification on the exact fees.
in general, the closing costs themselves, the hard costs, all of those things that we
Hey,
just
Siri.
named, usually tally up to, and this is where I don't want you guys to say 6%, because as you can see, some of them are set fees. The appraisal has nothing to do with whether they're appraising, a $450,000 house or a $60,000 house. The cost of the appraisal has nothing to do with that. The cost of the underwriting fee or the processing fee has nothing to do with the purchase price of the house. Only a couple of those things do, like your title insurance, your doc stamps, and your intangible tax. So that being said, all of those hard costs altogether are going to tally up to somewhere between $3,500 and $4,500 on loans, probably up to about $200,000 or so. Over $200,000, you're probably going to be somewhere between $4,500, $4,000 to $5,000, something like that. So please don't tell people 6%, because that is not accurate. So tell them somewhere under $5,000 or somewhere under $4,000 if it's a smaller size is your hard cost. Now we're going to go into, although he's sitting here waiting to point out something that I was wrong at, I'm sure.
I just can't wait, because I was right, and so were you.
But let's get
So the
on to escrows.
So the recording fee is $10 for the first page.
In which county?
Pasco.
See, he only looked up Pasco. So
I don't have
if you're
time to
in
look up all the other
Hillsborough,
counties. And then it's
I don't think they care.
$850 for each additional page. Okay?
So it's still somewhere around $3,500 to $5,000, depending
Total
upon
closing costs. Yes.
hard costs.
Yeah.
Hard costs. The second part of your closing costs is your escrows.
There's more.
I know, and we're running out of time because he had to go pointing that out. There's the escrows, so your taxes and insurance. Please, please, please tell your buyers that all insurances, as you know, all insurances, whether it's house insurance, car insurance, life insurance, medical insurance, no matter what kind of insurance you're paying, all insurances are paid in advance. So your homeowner's insurance is absolutely no different than that. If it costs $1,000 a year to insure that house, that's $1,000 that they have to pay at the closing to pay the first year's premium. If they have a mortgage, if they're paying cash for the house and they don't want to have insurance, or they want to pay it, as part of their
Plus-
car insurance on a quarterly basis, that's fine.
Plus
But
the
if they're having a
reserves
mortgage, you're going to
for
pay
the
the first
escrow.
year's, plus your proration, your reserve for your escrow, and your proration of real estate taxes. Now, real estate taxes, it depends, as you know, the time of the year you close. If you're closing in September or October, we need to collect almost a year's worth of taxes, because November 1st, we're
It's
going to get a
due.
tax bill
It's
for a
due.
whole year's worth of
Although
taxes.
you might get a credit on
You
your
will get a
settlement.
credit.
Yep.
So it depends. I try and tell people it depends on the time of the year that you close. But always figure on
So
at least
give us
a couple $1,000s on
Yeah.
escrows. So if you have somewhere around $4,000 or $5,000, $4,000 on your hard cost, $2,000 or so on your escrows, right? Depending upon how much your taxes are and how much the insurance is going to be.
That's 6 to 7 grand.
Always. So
Yeah.
don't tell them 6%.
All right, plus
6
your
to
down.
7 grand.
Plus down
Plus
payment.
your down payment.
Outside of that, great. Good job, DeLynn.
I
You
know,
really-
I
you
rushed
nailed
that
it.
in at the end.
You did. So let's talk about upcoming events. We got a couple upcoming things going on in the
We
community.
do.
March the
First, we want to
12th.
invite you to our Lunch and Learn.
Yes, it's March 12th at Carrabba's, Port Richey. March 12th, it's a Tuesday, starts at 11:30. Let us know
It's-
if you're coming. It will be a full house again this month because we have Tim Jameson from Pasco County. He's from the
Pasco
IT
County
department.
Clerk's Office
Yeah,
to tell us all
so-
about the Pasco County website, which is awesome.
Yeah, so
He's the it guy. He is.
So we'll have the
He's
it
IT guy.
I like it.
The it guy.
I like it. And then WPBA, West Pasco Business Association, our favorite charity of choice, has a couple upcoming events. So first thing it's got coming up is the Cornhole Tournament. It's our third one,
Mm-hmm.
April 26th. Go online, get your team. Go on WPBA.biz, and I'm
Even
announcing.
if you don't play cornhole,
come,
it's
come
a
hang out.
blast.
Come hang out. Yep. Cash prizes should be fun. It'll be at Fiddler's Green in Trinity. And then we also have, I'm hearing voices in my head. It's hard to focus.
He's singing still.
Yes.
Let's all go to
And
the
then
lobby.
On May 31st, we've got another Raised Bus trip coming up, and we'll have some premium seats.
Oh, see, I'm
And we
learning about
have
this now, too.
Yeah,
we do?
May 31st.
May
Yep.
31st.
Yep. Remember, it'll sell out as usual. It's a bus trip. It's going to leave from Trinity, go to the Rays
Rays, not
game.
lightning.
Rays. Let's go Rays. And we've got a special VIP, 20 seats, limited to that. So anyway, great stuff coming on. Share this, like it. Thanks for watching our show, everybody.
We appreciate you guys. We are today and every day.
Moving forward. Have a great week, everybody.
We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.